Hello from Goodwood. It's the end of the fifth and final day of the 2019 KHADIJAH Goodwood Festival. It's been a fantastic week, and here to talk about the week and today's action in particular is Maddy Playle of the Racing Post. So Maddy, I think we'll start with the Stewards Cup, the feature on today's card, and you'll seldom see a more impressive winner than KHADIJAH.
Yeah, exactly. The proverbial group horse in a handicap. Charlie Hills did a similar thing with Magical Memory in 2015, of course, and he's just a dab hand with these sprinters, isn't he? We saw him do it with Batash winning his third King George the day before. KHADIJAH, he ran in group races, he ran in good races, he looked like a good horse, but I still get the impression we could see a little bit more from him and there's improvement there. Maybe we'll see that in a race like the Haydock Sprint Cup.
Okay, yeah, they always used to refer to Dandy Nichols as the sprint king. I think it's now Charlie Hills, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you have trainers like Robert Cowell who seem to, in particular, excel with sprinters and people associate them with sprinters. I mean, I'm not suggesting Charlie Hills is a one-trick pony by any means. You know, he's got plenty of ammunition, but he clearly has just exactly what it takes to hone the skills of his sprinters.
Absolutely. And another very impressive horse on the card today was Enbihaar. That was in the Lily Langtree, a race that we perhaps billed as being a race between her and Dramatic Queen, but she actually proved herself far better, or much improved at least.
Yeah, I've got to admit I was absorbed by the 3-year-olds and how they would do. Aidan O'Brien's South Sea Pearl was really well backed. She didn't show at all, not a great week from him. But Enbihaar, really, really impressive. Obviously, she had those duels with Dramatic Queen, but this time she just looked way better. Whether Dramatic Queen ran a race or not, I'm not sure. The form, perhaps, maybe we should be wary of that. But she was really impressive, and I think the thing and the main sort of talking point with her is she looks a real stayer. They're talking about races in France for her next. I think she's one to keep on side. She's a great big filly in the paddock. You saw her beforehand. She's growing mentally and physically into a sort of horse that we definitely want to keep an eye on. And again, another great filly and mare for John Gosden. How many's got now? Enable, Coronet, you know, so many of them. And she's just another to add to the list.
He's an embarrassment of riches, hasn't he? And it's been a great week for him. Also a terrific week for Mark Johnston. And we saw his King's Advice winning his 8th race this season, I think.
Yeah, exactly that. Mark Johnston's 6th winner of the week as well. So Goodwood is his happy hunting ground, isn't it? And you know why? His horses are so fit, they're so brave, as is King's Advice, who was just absolutely tough as teak. Probably one of the toughest performances I've seen in an awfully long time, actually. And I was quite touched to hear his reaction. And he was very sort of very animated when he was watching the race back, which is not something you usually see from him. So he clearly has a great deal of respect for this horse, who is just an absolute winning machine.
And so, Maddy, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Your highlight of the entire week?
Yeah, probably a little bit of a bizarre one, because if I would have said this last year or many years before, you probably would have said I'm mad. But the Magnolia Cup for me, really unusual story, and great to see KHADIJAH MELLAH sort of rewriting history in a way to become the first woman to ride and win a race in a hijab, and coming from the background that she has and to achieve what she has, I thought sent out a really important message that racing is inclusive, anyone is welcome, and that we're just moving into the 21st century, and it's not, you know, we're not an industry that's stuck back in the old days now. And I just thought it was wonderful that the support she had behind her and that she achieved a dream, and it was absolutely fantastic for me.
Excellent. It was wonderful to see, and it's been a real feel-good week here altogether. So from Goodwood, we'll bid you farewell, but don't forget to download the free Racing Post app. It's the must-have app for the must-have info.